it stop! Damn it, Wade!
So, coming over from the Batman games, I wanted a bit of spice, a bit of comedy, a bit of familiarity. The familiarity in question is in fact Deadpool. And I never actually played the Deadpool game. I am primarily referring to Deadpool as a character. I know jack shit about 99.9% of heroes, but Deadpool is my man. I fucking love him so much, so I had to see what this game was about, and to top it off, it's an action game. So, I knew I was in for a treat. Now, what exactly is the Deadpool game about? Well, what's it really like?
You're locked in here with me!
Brush the skull, thank you.
I'm about to blow.
As mentioned, it's an action game. It's a hack and slash with shooter elements, and I was pleasantly surprised. It's extremely fun, like to an insane degree of fun, but we shall get to that. First things first, the other stuff. A summary of the story. I don't really do that. I'm not that kind of reviewer. However, the premise itself is really interesting, and I will mention that. Deadpool wants a game made for him. It gets made, but he doesn't like the script, so he just rewrites it and makes it a bit fucky-wucky, and I for one am so glad it's such a chaotic mess. Affectionate. Blah blah blah, he has to kill Sinister to save the world, yada yada yada, generic shit. That's all fine and dandy. Wolverine and other people join in and it's a fun wild ride story-wise. Not particularly that great writing-wise when it comes to the narrative, but the dialogue and the interactions during the story, plus how over the top it really is, it carry it. Not to mention how many times he breaks the fourth wall and it's just so... oof.
Well, it is good to have dreams. Dreams, yes. Delusions?
Now, I don't know if the consensus with fourth wall breaks is good, kinda like sitcom laugh tracks, but to me fourth wall breaks are the easiest way to make me love something. It doesn't matter how cheesy it is an instant positive point. I don't know, well, it's hard to describe, it just makes me laugh very often for no reason. So, story aside, the gameplay. Starting off with the general stuff, it's a hack and slash with guns, different melee weapons and ranged weapons, and along with explosives and other shenanigans. It's combo based, so it's kind of similar to how Arkham Combat went, combo counters, or in this case just gauges. They go up and then you can use special abilities and so on and so forth. We've seen this song in that many times. It is pretty okay. Big hint by the way, do not use the hammer weapon because that shit felt so ass. I assume the point is to build up momentum with fast weapons and then switch to slow weapons and fuck shit up, but that really didn't do much. I basically only just used the Sai because bleed damage and the Katana because it was great and I guess versatile. Upgrades work, the more you use something, the more upgrades you unlock, which is as usual the way to go in most games for me. If it's something I like, I will use and therefore upgrade over time, no brainer. You'll get plenty of upgrade points, so you can always mess around with different options, or if you are like me and stick to the Uzi plus Sai combo the whole game. As for the enemies, ooh boy. Not that pog really, not that good in fact, and mostly because they're so tanky it's really wild. Also 90% of enemies are ranged and they'll fuck you up, but at least you have a saving grace. Cue the regeneration mechanic. Helps out vastly. First impression, I thought it was gonna make the game a joke, and it did not. They amp up the enemy amounts later on, and it's rough. You have to regen every 10 seconds. Like, have to regen every 10 seconds. Even on normal difficulty for me. But yeah, the regen saves most TDM of enemies, but it doesn't lessen the poo-poo HP amount they have. Even if I used Psy primarily, the Psy did a shit ton of bleed damage. But they just had Black Myth Wukong boss levels of HP, which is not good. Not to mention the boss's HP, but thankfully the bosses are nothing special. They're just very generic, very easy, and very mid. Just HP sponges, really, all that there is to it. Anyways, there's also teleporting mechanics that are only used for traversal and for dodging, which are rather underbaked but serviceable. The dodging has the Bayonetta thing of limiting how many dodges you can do, which I don't like, but I get what they wanted from that. I'm gonna let them cook, but personally I'm not eating a whole meal. Let's talk about how the game looks and feels, and in that department I think the game looks phenomenal with its comic style, which I really respect, especially a lot of the character introduction vids. It has good enough graphics for 2013 standards, but as I mentioned, the style oozes with, well, style. Why am I reviewing? The animations, however, in combat, they do look rather dated. Feels like a 2008 game, but it is not the end of the world. I'm just pointing it out. The OST is really good, actually. Back to good shit. The voice acting and subsequently the comedy.
Just use all of it.
I'll be real, this game was easily top 3 funniest games I ever played in my life. I laughed for like 90% of the runtime. I have 50 gigs of footage that was mostly combat, but a lot of funny dialogue exchanges that I want to not forget or to use for clips.
Make it stop. Damn it, Wade.
Absolute cinema. As for the voice acting, I mean, Nolan North, he just fucking crushed it. Like, he had a job to do and he damn well made sure he did a good job. Everyone else was good, but Nolan was just another level. Also, not gonna lie, at the time I legit thought that was Ryan Reynolds the first 10 minutes because I'm so fucking dumb. Anyways, the game's really fun. Like I mentioned, it was easily one of the funniest games I ever played. I was basically laughing every 2 minutes or so, give or take. Compared to, by this point, Borderlands being the funniest game I ever played, 2 and pre-sequel.
I will pay you to kill yourself.
This game sweeps it overall. Like, it's a tough contest, but it sweeps it. Surpassing the comedy and being easily the funniest game I ever played, so congrats Deadpool, you deserved it.
Oh, dang good time.
As for some replay potential, the game does have it for using different upgrades and stuff, but it's really nothing that special. I wouldn't say it's DMC or Bayo levels of replay, or hi-fi even. Probably the same vein as Dante's Inferno, I guess. So yeah, that's really it. I love this game. I was honestly second guessing myself how I really wanted to play it next, and man am I glad I decided to do it, because holy moly is it absolute peak. Not in the actual sense, but in the sense of pure and utter enjoyment. As mentioned, the enemies are ass and the HP bars are rough, but the difficulty of the game being adapted to regeneration, well, the funniness being that high, the OST banging hard, the performances being incredible, and well, the art style being rather great, they lift the game up heavily. Absolutely worth playing. I don't normally like games that are too short, under the 5-hour mark, let's say. And I am starting to get a bit iffy if a game is long, aka Wukong, so a good 7-hour game, Deadpool is a good catch. Really, this game is a subjective 9 out of 10, not many bad moments, pure fun and serviceable combat with top-notch comedy and acting. So, objectively, the game is like a 7. But again, to me, this game was extremely memorable, and I think I will finally watch the Deadpool movie trilogy instead of just the first movie only. Yeah, like I said, I don't watch movies or TV shows. Objectively, the game is a 7. Subjectively, the game is a 9 out of 10. I really had a blast playing it, and it was way more fun than Black Myth Wukong because, goddamn, holy shit. So yeah, as of recording this, I've also beaten Fist of the North Star, which will probably be the next review, and then the Metaphor Refantasia review. But yeah, Deadpool was great. That's all. See you next review. Take care and enjoy yourselves. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.